Hello, everybody. Intuition here. Thank you, as always, for making time and space for us. Today, we would like to discuss how to know when you are connected to someone, whether that be a family member or somebody whom you're just starting to talk to, who you're interested in pursuing a romantic relationship or a friendship. Something that we often get caught on is the idea of, it is important for me to be pleasing. It's important for people to like me. Because if somebody likes me and I am pleasing to them, then that means on some level that I am connected to them. And the only real benefit that we would receive out of somebody liking us would be the idea that we are connected. And if we are connected, then on some level there is an idea of safety. Again, if there was no benefit of safety that comes with connection, then there would be no real point of having anybody like you or not like you. And so we often get caught in that aspect when we're dealing with interpersonal relationships, including our own relationships with ourselves. And so it is important to understand that everything in life, relationships and external circumstances, everything in our world has polarities, which means that there are two aspects. There is the positive aspect and the negative aspect, meaning that if there is a positive aspect, then there is a positive charge to it. If there's a negative aspect, then there's a negative charge to it. Again, we do not necessarily mean a value-based judgment with regards to positive or negative. We literally mean the charge, which then therefore would create the symptom of a value-based judgment based on either the positive or the negative. And the reason why we express this is the idea that when somebody likes you, when you are pleasing, when a circumstance is good, then that means that you are in the positive aspect of that charge, right? However, if someone does not like you, an event is not pleasing to you, then that means that you are in the negative aspect of that charge. And the only thing that really quantifies that experience as positive or negative, that socialization with somebody as positive or negative, the only thing that quantifies that is the identification based off of the experience, based on a prior experience that you've had in the past, that then therefore informs the present that would tell you that something is either positive or negative. However, again, if the point of having somebody like you is on the basis of connection, understand that again, in order for them to quantify that it is good, they have to connect that experience that is happening now to something in the past. Likewise, if something is bad, it is a negative connection, somebody doesn't like you, they also have to connect that to something that has happened in the past that informs them in the present that this is not good. Which means that whether somebody likes you or not, whether it is a good experience or a bad experience, whether the conversation was good or bad, you are still connected, because again, at the end of the day, the only thing that you're really looking for is connection. That's the only reason why I want somebody to like me. But also understanding that if somebody doesn't like me, they're still connected to me, which means that either way, I'm getting what it is that I want. The only time that I wouldn't be getting what it is that I want, which again, we've already based, is the idea of connection. The only time I wouldn't be really getting what it is that I want is if somebody is right in the middle with me, in the sense of they're not in the hyper positive, nor are they in the hyper negative. They are right in balance, which would mean that they are indifferent. And if somebody is indifferent about me, if an experience is indifferent, objective, then that means they aren't making any sort of connection, whether it be positive or negative, which is bringing them back to an experience that then therefore is informing them of a present moment and how to go either way. Because again, they're indifferent, which means that there is no connection whatsoever. And so the reason why we're expressing this is because so often when we're starting to explore new relationships or simply continuing to build on relationships, whether that be with friends or family members, we will look at it in such a linear way in the sense of it being either positive or negative. And do understand that that is linear, positive or negative. because it creates a line of connectivity. And so if we're simply looking at, we want every experience with everyone to be positive, and that means that I'm connected to somebody, we're completely missing the other end of the spectrum, which is equally important, which is if somebody doesn't like me or somebody doesn't agree with me, they're just as connected to me as if they do agree with me and they do like me, because it is truly, really the same thing, because it is linear. It is just one focused in the hyperpositive or one focused in the hypernegative. And should I be worried about either experience, it wouldn't be the fact that they are connected to me in a positive or negative way. It would be the fact that they are indifferent about either way of what it is that I'm expressing within the experience. And again, we bring this up simply to provide you another frame of reference, another understanding of a possibility that would allow you to get out of this linear frame of thought that makes everything good or bad, black and white, yes or no. Because when I start seeing the negative connectors as equally important as the positive connectors, because it is on a continuum, then it allows me to be more open and not take a perceived negative experience so personally that then therefore gets in the way of me being able to actually process the experience and come into the moment of now. And so, the importance of understanding that you are always connected to somebody, even if there is a perception that the experience is negative, even if it is a perception that they don't like you. Because in order for them to not like you, they have to feel connected to you on some way. And if the only reason why you'd want somebody to like you is under the precipice of them feeling connected to me, understand that if they don't like me, they're still connected to me. And so I'm still getting what I want. Maybe it's not, again, based on my preference, but if the original thing of what it is that I want is connection, then it still is me getting what it is that I need. However, again, if that's not what I prefer, then maybe it's important for me to redefine what it is that I'm looking for within my connection to others that will allow me to experience something different, even when there is a perception or a question of the experience being that of a negative one, because it really genuinely is all based on your perception, and your perception is usually not based in the now. It is based on you trying to compare the past with the present that then therefore will inform you whether this situation is good or bad. And so, as always, we are simply trying to provide a little food for thought to help you navigate some of your social circumstances and your interpersonal relationships, whether that be with yourself or with others in your life. Thank you as always for making time and space for us, and we wish you well in all areas and aspects of your experience.